What's good everyone, and as you probably know, Apple Watch Series 5 is about to be released very soon, but what exactly can you expect from this device? Let's begin with this video right now. Just like with everything nowadays, the naming scheme is really confusing, and when it comes to the Apple Watch, there is no exception, since we are getting the Series 5, which is technically the 6th generation of the product, because there is this one, like originally first Apple Watch, which is unofficially called the Series 0. They simply skipped one series. It's kind of confusing. So the way I like to think about it is to compare it to the iPhone. As you know, with the arrival of the iPhone X, we got a new design, like a completely new redesign, and everybody knew that you are rocking the iPhone X simply because the display looks a lot different. But when Apple released the iPhone XS, we pretty much didn't notice any visual change, so all of the things are happening internally, and like nobody really knows if you're rocking the iPhone X or XS. And the very same thing could be applied to the Apple Watch. Well, since you are having this Series 4, which is like the iPhone X, which had a new redesign, and everybody knew that you have the new one because of that new display and it was really noticeable, well, the Series 5 is gonna be like the iPhone XS, which is gonna be upgraded internally and gonna have some new and extra features, but it's not gonna be anything huge when it comes to the design and the way it looks. So yeah, common people will not be able to tell the difference between the Series 4 and 5 by a quick glance. So yeah, this is something to keep in mind. So the biggest rumor that you probably heard regarding the Apple Watch Series 5 is a camera which is gonna be built into the Apple Watch, which is and sounds really cool, but is probably not gonna happen. Simply because, why, just think about it, why would you need a front-facing camera? It would just be a gimmick, or like a cool gimmick that you would show your friends just to brag that you have the new series of the Apple Watch, but it's just nothing really besides that. So you definitely wouldn't use it as a face unlocking feature, since it doesn't make sense, and of course one camera isn't enough for the device to have and support Face ID. What would you do, just take a selfie? I mean, it doesn't really make too much sense. And of course, your Apple Watch is gonna be rounded and it's gonna be full screen on the front side, so where exactly do you think that the camera should be? One option would be in the band, like implemented in the real band, which sounds cool, and it would probably cost you an arm and leg to get that band. But hey, how exactly do you imagine using it? Okay, so if the camera would be implemented into the band, it would be somewhere around here, and right now, if you just take a look at the watch, you can see that the camera would point somewhere up. And I don't know, like if you want to take a selfie, you would have to turn your hand like this, and it would look weird at first place and you wouldn't really see the screen that well. And if you would like to take a photo of something else, you would have to flip your hand like this, so again, not very comfortable or practical. So I don't really think that it's gonna happen, and if it does, it's just gonna be a useless gimmick in my opinion, even though I would be really glad to test it out. Right now, the only thing that you can do when it comes to the camera on the Apple Watch is to control your camera on the iPhone. I mean, it's also kind of useful and it really does make sense. It can serve as a remote control for your camera if you want to take a group photo or whatever. So this is a great use for the Apple Watch as a camera, remote or assistant, but it's not, I don't think that it makes sense to implement a real camera into the body of the Apple Watch, whether that is the band or the actual body of the watch. Okay, another thing that we definitely do not expect is a redesign, like I said, and like I explained, well, we had the redesign with the previous Series 4, so we don't expect it with this one. But before we jump right into the things that really can happen, I want you to hit the like button because it really helps the channel a little bit, and also subscribe so you don't miss future videos. So what exactly is going to be part of the new Series 5? Well, there's a big rumor that, you know, there are two buttons on the side of the Apple Watch. One is a rotating digital crown, and the other is like a real button which only has like two functions. So these are the only hardware parts that you can click. But with the arrival of the Series 5, you will probably not be able to click them because they are probably becoming non-physical buttons, like virtual ones, just like the one that was introduced with the arrival of the iPhone 7 and is still part of the iPhone 8. Like, it looks like a real button, but it doesn't make any sound when you click it. Yeah, I mean, why would they do it? Because, of course, the real button takes a lot of place. I mean, not much, but when you talk about the body of the watch, which is super small, those tiny parts also really take or need place. So instead they could use that to perhaps increase battery life or to add something that wasn't here before. So yeah, it really makes sense that Apple is thinking about this step, and this is something that we have seen from Apple already. It is really likely to happen, and I think that it would really just enhance and really just make the Apple Watch feel a little bit different. Of course, I don't think that both of the buttons will become like virtual, since you will always need to have some sort of button, like a physical one, to reset or just do stuff when your Apple Watch is not responsive, so I don't think that they will get rid of all of the buttons. If you are wondering right now, like, why I'm not talking about some features that will definitely be part of the Series 5, like the App Store built-in right to the watch, I mean, it's true, but hey, it's a software feature. I mean, it's not anything specific to the Series 5, and also some other people not having the brand new Apple Watch will still be able to use that, like, you know, the voice recorder and stuff like that. I mean, it's not anything that is solely part of the Series 5. It's just something that everyone running the WatchOS 6 is going to get. And of course, the new Series 5 will come with the WatchOS 6 pre-installed, and it will also support more versions in the future. But even if you are still rocking the Series 1, you will still be able to get the WatchOS 6 and experience the same features, but obviously only with less speed and smaller performance. But you're using such an old device just like I do, but I think besides the speed, this is a perfect device. Of course, I plan on getting the new one when it comes out, so yeah, stay tuned and definitely subscribe so you don't miss that. Some people are even reporting and talking about the Apple Watch being ceramic, like only for certain models, which are of course gonna be more expensive, but I consider it to be like a really expensive addition, a really expensive accessory. For example, if you remember, with the new Mac Pro we got the new stand for $1,000, which is considered to be accessory, and Apple has always been pricing the accessories really high. So yeah, if we expect the ceramic bag and ceramic body of the actual Apple Watch, it's gonna be very expensive in my opinion. You can definitely count with the fact that Apple is gonna put a big price tag on the white ceramic and high quality bag of the Apple Watch. As you probably know, the Apple Watch and Apple in general were paying a lot of attention to health functions and health features in the Apple Watch, like the introduction of the ECG, which is rolling out slowly to the entire world. With the 5.3, it got support in Canada, for example. As I was talking about the removal of the physical digital crown or the button and replacing it with the virtual one, yeah, the space inside could be used for some sort of other sensors and monitoring for your health, basically. So Apple is rumored to add some sort of air detection and just gonna make sure that it's gonna tell you that some bad conditions are going on right now, that the quality of the air is generally bad and you should leave the area, that there are some chemicals in the air and it's just gonna bad for your health. So yeah, you should get a notification that there is a bad quality in the area where you are right now. And so it's not gonna be like an information from the internet, like the Apple Watch is gonna have a real sensor built into it, so it's gonna tell you whether the quality of the air around you is good or not so good. So like I said, the design of the Apple Watch is gonna remain the same, which means that there are still the very same two options for the sizes. I mean, you know, you can get the bigger one with 44mm screen or the smaller one with just 40mm. So yeah, it's pretty much the same thing. And also the pricing should vary depending on which one you get. And also if you get the LTE version, which is gonna be probably supported. When it comes to the pricing of the Apple Watch, we obviously don't know for sure, like all of these are just rumors, so you just take it with a grain of salt, but it should start just like the Series 4 at $399 and of course go up with some extensions and some other features that are built into the watch, which means that if you go for a 44mm one, it will obviously be more expensive, and if you also get the LTE one, perhaps the one with the ceramic bag, you can expect the price to go up. Of course, the bands and everything should remain the same as well, the colors, there are no new bands expected, and if Apple releases new bands, they do that silently and not just really with the release of the Apple Watch. They do it whenever they want, so I will keep you informed about that. But this would pretty much be it when it comes to the Apple Watch Series 5. There are no other known features or things that we really expect, so I want to say thank you so much for watching. I really hope you found this video useful and informative, and for more stuff, like I said, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button as well, and see you guys in the future content. Have a nice day and see you guys later.